Hello, I'm joined today by Tim Coverdale, who's one of our regional relationship managers, and we're going to discuss the 7 investment management model portfolios and how we actually operate them. So Tim, first of all, what actually do we mean by a 7 investment management model portfolio?
Yeah, when it comes to 7IM, our definition model is straightforward really. It's a basket of assets that we run on behalf of IFAs for their clients. I think one of the important things is that the clients can see right through to understand what the assets are that are held within the model.
So rather than just having an individual one-line fund or anything like that?
Indeed. With a fund, it should be one line of stock. Here, you can see all the individual line of stocks within the portfolio.
Okay. So who have you found actually uses these models?
Well, it's our advisory partners in all shapes and sizes, though I think it'd be fair to say that the biggest uptake has been amongst those IFAs who've previously run their own in-house portfolios.
So why would they swap over for something like this?
I think there's 3 real drivers that have pushed IFAs towards using the likes of 7IM for model portfolios. Firstly, regulatory risk. There's a concern out there that the FCA are looking a lot more closely at IFAs' investment propositions. They need to be able to prove that they're very robust, that they're risk appropriate, and indeed that they're managed and maintained in a consistent fashion. So that's led some IFAs to conclude, is it really worth the risk? Secondly, I suppose it's fair to say that it's been recognised that the models that are being put out there by the likes of 7IM are very cost competitive, and it's difficult for IFAs to build models in such a way at the same sort of price.
And then the last one?
Well, thirdly, commercial viability. The amount of work that's involved for an IFA to run a model day in, day out and deliver what's required by the FCA is extremely time consuming. It's questionable, or some IFAs are questioning, whether it really is viable going forward.
So it's a simple mechanism of running these portfolios and enabling then the intermediary to be able to spend more time with clients and less time actually looking at the details of running money.
Absolutely. It's about delivering the financial planning.
Okay. So after that then, how do these actually operate? How do we structure them?
Well, in line with how 7IM runs all its money, we adopt a well-tried and tested strategic and tactical approach to the way we run money. We have
So strategic, can you explain that?
Well, yeah, absolutely. When we talk about strategic, we use Ibbotts and Associates to do all the sort of rear-view mirror stuff, looking at how assets have performed together in the past. And they'll come up with a model devised upon how those assets have performed in terms of return and in terms of volatility, and they will suggest this is an ideal mix.
But that's historical, that's just rear-view mirror.
Yeah, that's right. What we will then do on top is we'll overlay that with our tactical views. The 7IM Asset Allocation Committee will meet on a quarterly basis, look at what's going on in the world and try and take a view as to what might be going to happen next and how we should be tilting those portfolios to reflect the world as it is today.
So it's a limited amount of trading, just adjusting it on a quarterly basis?
On a quarterly basis, yes. That's when we would do the big review and decide whether we want to be overweight or underweight. Having said that, there is the option of mid-quarter perhaps making additional changes if it was felt absolutely necessary.
Now, does it matter that actually it's using a smaller number of actual instruments than, say, the more advanced funds that you would have?
Well, that's a good question. If you look at the data, the models as they are seem to be performing very well. There's huge diversity still within that model, many different funds involved, but only time will tell whether or not that makes a big difference.
And what profiles do we have in this?
So we go through from cautious through to adventurous. There's 5 profiles: cautious, moderately cautious, balanced, moderately adventurous and adventurous.
So Tim, where do we actually find the 7IM models then?
Well, they're available on a growing number of platforms and wraps, and you can expect many more in 2014.
Good. Well, look, let's just summarise now. In your view, what are the key points, the key benefits for an intermediary when looking at the 7IM models?
I think one thing is that they're not new in many ways. We're using a tried and tested formula, which we've been using in our funds for many years in terms of running strategic and tactical portfolios. Secondly, I think the very transparent nature is appreciated by clients, that they can see that the moving parts are actively being managed within the portfolio to reflect market conditions. And thirdly, from an IFA's perspective, it does take a lot of work off their shoulders and releases them to spend that time with their clients.
Great. Tim, thank you very much indeed. Now, if you need any more information about any of our 7 investment management model portfolios, either please do contact Tim or any of his colleagues as the regional relationship managers, or of course go to the website. I hope you found that helpful and look forward to speaking to you again. Thanks a lot. Thank you.